Good evening, everybody. It is Tuesday, January the 19th, the day before Inauguration Day. And we hope everybody's had a great day. Been a little chilly. The cloud cover is what made it chilly. If the sun had been out, it would have been a beautiful day. Would have been an absolute beautiful day. Hello up in Cleveland, Alan. And boy, howdy. Hello, Kim. It's great to see you too. Tell the old man I said howdy. Man, talk about dropping the ball. ESPN Chattanooga dropped the ball yesterday by not airing Press Row, dumbasses. The biggest sports news day in 3-4 years in the state of Tennessee, and they're not on the air. Sport Talk is, and they were all over it yesterday. Everybody by now knows that Jeremy Pruitt was shit-canned by Tennessee yesterday. What they're not telling realistically, not only is he gone and 9 people that reported to him, but Philip Fulmer is gone too. He resigned before he got fired. That resignation was forced because all of this stuff happened on his watch. And it's going to get ugly. It's going to get very, very ugly. And if you've not seen it yet or heard it, on the Dan Patrick show this morning, Dan Patrick addressed the situation at Tennessee.
All right, here's some information I have on Tennessee Volunteers with Jeremy Pruitt got fired and Phil Fulmer, the athletic director. I said they were going to go after him as well from my source. He decided to retire, and whoever goes in has got some hurdles probably with the NCAA that they're going to have to navigate. The people who are going to make this pick, this choice for the next head coach, the Haslam brothers, Peyton Manning is going to be involved in it, reportedly going to be involved in it. And I was told that, there's a few things that are going on here. And I asked my source, I said, how did they get these assistant coaches on recruiting violations? And he said, well, they put money into McDonald's bags and gave them to the recruits when they came on campus. Some of the campus visits were not organized or they were not above board, but they were handing out cash. I don't know if it was through the drive-through.
That's a Happy Meal.
So you literally had bagmen, and they put the cash in McDonald's bags and handed it to the recruits. My source said they were so in your face with this. They weren't even trying to hide it. And that's where my source said Tennessee got sloppy. Georgia has gotten sloppy, but there's been no word on the NCAA looking at Georgia. But Tennessee, they got sloppy, and they were handing out cash in McDonald's bags. I haven't been to McDonald's in a long, long time. But
I used to get those little figurines. Definitely not cash.
Here's another possibility. Here, they're looking at names here. Who's going to take over the program? Who's going to go in there? And I was told Hugh Freeze is not getting the job. I was told Hugh Freeze might, this might be more of the SEC saying, I got to get it correct here. The SEC might be blocking the possibility of Hugh Freeze coaching Tennessee. So you would be discouraging Tennessee from hiring Hugh Freeze. He's already been in this before with Ole Miss, but he was at Liberty, and he's done a good job at Liberty, but I was told that Hugh Freeze was probably not going to be on the short list there. Here was a name that was brought to my attention by somebody else. How about Jason Witten? Just a what-if Jason Witten as the next head coach. Throw that out there. Whether it sticks or not, no idea. But that's the information that I have with the Tennessee Volunteers. Probably not going to be on the short list there.
Boy, you talk about an absolute mess in Knoxville. an absolute mess. Thank goodness that the Hugh Freeze chatter is going to go away, because the SEC is not going to allow that piece of scum to coach in the SEC again. Not only did you have recruiting violations, the man was spending tens of thousands of dollars on hookers. And he's at the right place now at Liberty at Falwell U, where we all remember Jerry Falwell had to resign due to extramarital affairs that he and his wife had with one man, because Jerry Falwell Jr. really liked to watch. Now, there's been a lot of chatter, and I'm waiting because I reached out today, and Jeremy Pruitt is going to be here in just a matter of moments to respond to all of this, okay? So you want to stay tuned. Jeremy Pruitt's going to be here any moment. But, in fact, there he is now. Jump into the fire, fans. Former head coach of the Tennessee Volunteers, Jeremy Pruitt.
Introducing the world's newest, silliest, and hamburger-eatingest clown, Ronald McDonald. Now, where is that clown? Oh, Ronald. Hey, Ronald.
Here I am, kid. Hey, isn't watching TV fun? Especially when you got delicious McDonald's hamburgers.
Ronald, you can't be on TV and watch it at the same time. Now, come on and meet the boys and girls.
Oh, we've already met. I know we're going to be friends, too, because I like to do everything boys and girls like to do. Especially when it comes to eating those delicious McDonald's hamburgers. A magic tray here keeps me well supplied. McDonald's hamburgers, French fries, and milkshakes. Watch for me on TV. We'll have lots of fun.
He's Ronald McDonald, the hamburger happy clown. A McDonald's drive-in restaurant is his favorite place in town.
Thank you, Jeremy Pruitt, for stopping by. Jump into the fire tonight. Need we say more? Folks, this is not just on Jeremy Pruitt. This is on freaking Philip Fulmer. I've never liked the man. When I was with Stump on Sports, and he came to town as the guest at the Best of Preps, I had to jump through hoops to get to talk to him. The only person I ever had an issue, the jackass Philip Fulmer is complicit in this. The downfall of Tennessee football started under his watch. Tennessee football has not been relevant in more than 20 years. Think about that. National championship 1998, they've not been relevant since. They've gone through a succession of coaches. I still firmly believe that if Lane Kiffin had never been offered the job at Southern Cal, he would still be the coach of the University of Tennessee. He would still be the coach. They might have been on probation a time or two, but they would be in contention for a national championship. You went through Lane Kiffin, Derek Dooley, Butch Jones. You had the guy that was the head coach at Michigan. He was the interim after they cut loose Butch. Then they hired Jeremy Pruitt, and it's never gotten better. Alan, you asked the question, why would anybody want Hugh Freeze? The Tennessee fan base is so starved for winning, they would sell their soul to the devil to be relevant again. They may be the most unrealistic fan base in America. Say what you want to about Notre Dame. More often than not, they're in the conversation. When was the last time Tennessee was in the conversation for even an SEC East championship? Now, there are a lot of names being mentioned. Excuse me, a little bit of a tickle today. Good hot coffee. There is a lot of conversation. Billy Napier at Louisiana, Chadwell at Coastal Carolina. There are even some people saying Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning is not qualified to coach a football team. He's not qualified to be the athletic director. Now, a lot of people are chiming in. David Blackburn, who used to be the athletic director here at Chattanooga, who applied for the job and was turned down when they hired John Curry. He's now a fundraiser for the Middle Tennessee Athletic Department. And just a reminder, MTSU is the biggest university in the state of Tennessee. More students than Knoxville. But the ship on David Blackburn has already sailed. Personally, I think they should go out to Texas and get Rick Hart, the athletic director at SMU, former athletic director who preceded David Blackburn at Chattanooga. His dad, Dave, is former athletic director at Tennessee, and I know there are people whose blood runs orange who say he was not a good AD because he purged the good old boy system in Knoxville. Ultimately, the decision is going to be made by the Haslam brothers, along with Peyton Manning. The Haslam brothers are going to do it. Rhonda, do you really mean that? Remember our conversation earlier today. Okay. Yes, I went with a more modern haircut. If I get dressed up, I'm going to break out the Vitalis and I'll have a early 1960s look. But I have to be given a reason to dress up first. Hint, hint. Tennessee is an absolute cluster flop. And my gut tells me Tennessee football is not going to be relevant for at least another decade. You know how it is when you're outside and you're out walking around in the yard or something, and suddenly you step in a pile of dog shit? Well, that's the Tennessee athletic department right now. It's a steaming pile of dog shit, and it's going to take several years to scrape it off your shoe. That simple. Now, and please, locals, stop the talk, Will Healy. I love Will Healy to death. Covered him in his days at Boyd Buchanan. Then, with my association with Chattanooga Mocs when he was an assistant to Russ Huesman. And who knows what would have happened if he had not taken the job at Austin Peay. Russ leaves for Richmond. The odds are pretty strong that Will Healy would have been the coach. And we'll get to former coach with the Mocs here in just a second. But he had a couple of years at Austin Peay. One of them was a winless season. The next year they go 8-3, but they did not qualify for the FCS playoffs. He takes the job at Charlotte. They get a bowl bid, the Bahamas Bowl, like anybody freaking cares. This year they didn't do, with COVID, there was really no season. Will Healy is not qualified to lead an SEC program. Tennessee is going to need to do what Texas A&M did. Texas A&M ponied up the money to get Jimbo Fisher away from Florida State. Keep one thing in mind. Texas A&M is Texas A&M is the richest university in America. I see you there, Music Man. The way I'm understanding it is Hugh Freeze is going to be frozen out by the SEC. But please stop the Will Healy talk. Stop the Peyton Manning talk. You're going to have to pony up and get a coach like Texas A&M did. And remember, Texas A&M is a monster money school. It is a monster. They have the best facilities in college football, period. And they pour money into that program. I'm going to go with Ingram. I personally think Rick Hart, but I think Blackburn's ship sailed when he didn't get the job over John Curry. He may be an SEC guy, but you make a valid point, Kevin Burke. He's not ready. He is not ready to coach SEC level football. Show me something at Charlotte. You put Charlotte, because when you look at the group of five, and I know this is going to draw some snickers and laughs. When you're at a school like Charlotte, your measuring stick is the largest university in this nation, the largest public university in this nation. In the group of five, the measuring stick is University of Central Florida. You get Charlotte to that level, then okay, you're ready for the SEC. Until then, you're not ready. And the problem is going to be with the fan base in Knoxville. Now, we're talking the average fan that didn't attend the university, that has nothing invested in it, is they think within a year or so they're going to be ready to compete again. The NCAA is going to come down hard on Tennessee. They're going to come down real hard. And like Dan Patrick said, if you missed it earlier, you can go back and rewatch it Within a matter of minutes, you can go back and rewatch it. Dan Patrick and what he had to say. The money people in Knoxville are going to decide who who the AD is and who the next head coach is. One, they're going to have to be squeaky clean. But what Dan Patrick said, Tennessee's just the tip of the iceberg. Georgia's next. That's why, whether you like it or not, there has never been a question about Nick Saban's programs, be it Michigan State, be it LSU, or be it Alabama. If he's doing something wrong, by God, Nick Saban knows how to hide it. But where's Kirby Smart's SEC championship? Where's his national championship? With all these great recruiting classes, can't get it done yet. Now, here's one, and I threw this out today in talking to my brother. How many Tennessee fans right now are kicking it, or just thinking to themselves, my God, if the Jacksonville Jaguars had not hired Urban Meyer? Yeah. Well, but Dabo plays the shucks, good old boy card too much to suit me. But how many Tennessee fans would die to have a coach of Urban Meyer's quality? Keep in mind, Ohio State was in the national championship game today, basically with Urban Meyer's players. He got 2 natties at Florida. Got one at Ohio State. Excuse me. And there's no way any university could pony up the money that Urban Meyer's going to make in Jacksonville. And I've heard NFL analysts say in less than 2 years, the Jags will be contenders. And that doesn't surprise me. Coffee went down the wrong way. No, it's not the cigar. But that's just my take on what's going on in Knoxville. It is the epic. I've stepped in dog shit. Now I got to scrape it off my shoe. Question's going to be, who's going to be the one doing the scraping? And is there a big-time college coach out there right now that would leave where they're at to come to Tennessee? Who is the coach that would do that? You need a proven winner. One that's pretty damn clean. Would Lane Kiffin leave Ole Miss to go back to Knoxville? I can just hear the great Dr. B, Gary Haskew, right now. He is cranking up the Lane train. He is cranking up that Lane train big time. We'll see. It's going to have to take place pretty quick. Signing day is just right around the corner, and they've already lost a couple. And if my information is still correct, Tennessee has more players in the transfer portal than any other program. So it's just wait and see. I know it could be worse. It could be worse. But there is a similarity. Coming back from this, from what has transpired the past decade in Knoxville, is going to be very similar to what SMU dealt with when they came back from the death penalty. And let us remember that it wasn't that long ago that Alabama was in the shit house. Because until Nick Saban got there, from the time Gene Stallings left until Nick Saban arrived, Alabama wasn't shit. Remember Mike Shula? What was the guy, the coach that got caught in strip joints? So I have a lot of friends who are Tennessee fans. I abandoned the orange a couple of decades ago. Oh, I'm getting to that, Barry. Everybody knows the problems at the health department. They're as screwed up as Tennessee football is. One hand doesn't know what the other hand is freaking doing. You run out of the damn vaccine and make people wait a week to get it, and now you're doing it by appointment, and you're still not targeting the people who need it the most. How's that for a segue? Mike Price, yeah, the strip joint king. Boy, I bet you he and Hugh Freeze could have some damn conversations, couldn't he? But one other note, and then we're going to move on to my rant against the Hamilton County Health Department. And this one's going to hurt because I have to jump on a friend. A longtime friend. High school friend. But reports out of Los Angeles, Tom Arth, former Chattanooga Mocs head coach, who followed Russ Huesman, didn't have a lot of success, who took the job at Akron, will be joining the staff of the Los Angeles Chargers. Tom Arth would fit perfect in the NFL. Tom Arth would be a good position coach or coordinator in the NFL. Personally, I like Tom Arth. I think he was a little bit over his head. There is a big jump from John Carroll, which is Division III, to the FCS level. That's a big jump. And he was not familiar with the South, and he bit off more than he could chew. He went back to Akron, but that is a putrid program, and he's had no success there. But the new coach with the Chargers, and he have a history because new coach with Chargers was an assistant coach here for Tom Arth. And now as the head coach of the Chargers, rumors are starting to swirl that Tom Arth will be joining the staff of the Los Angeles Chargers. And if that's the case, best of luck to Tom. He's a good guy who wasn't ready. just like the local guy who keeps getting mentioned by the masses as a coach for UT. No, Will Healy's not ready. The Hamilton County Health Department, Becky Barnes, and God, it pains me to say this, Hamilton County Mayor Jim Coppinger, they have screwed the pooch on the COVID vaccines. They run out. They have to wait a week for them to come in. Then they run out again. Who the F knows what the hell is going on? Then you set up a way to make appointments online. That's a separate rant in and of itself. Not everybody is computer literate. But yet, you can go to the Hamilton County Health Department website and make an appointment for your COVID vaccine. How many people do you know that are over the age of 75 that have a computer at home? Much less a damn smartphone. I'm waiting. And I realize Barry's out there, one of my favorite people during my years with television. Barry was also at the time in television. And that's my biggest pet peeve about all local news. For more information, go to our website. Give us the freaking story. Don't refer us to your website. So now the Hamilton County Health Department decides to do this by appointment only to avoid the cluster screw up that they had the last couple of weeks. Kicked my microphone. Sorry about that, folks. I'm pissed. I talked to my cardiologist today because they called to remind me that Thursday I have my semi-annual appointment in the office where first they will download all the information for the last 3 months off of my defibrillator. Yes, it has a hard drive. It is Bluetooth. They will download it and see what the last 3 months of my ticker have been like. Then I will see Dr. Puri. Bingo, Rhonda, perfect. Perfect, Rhonda. Open up the damned arena and give the shots from 8A to 9P to everybody that wants one. But I asked my cardiologist today when I didn't ask her, but I asked the PA that called to remind me. No, they do not keep the vaccine in their office. Everything goes through the health department. And only those people 75 and above and in certain categories can get the vaccine right now. Now, I did notice today where the Department of Veterans Affairs is going to set up appointments with veterans to get theirs if you're 65 or older and have certain conditions like a recent transplant. Bingo, Tina. She's exactly right. Most people over 70 are not computer literate. And HamCo Health, the dumbasses that they are, you got to go online to make an appointment because you can't get through to the damned hotline. It's a freaking disgrace. We got a lame brain freaking governor right now. I mean, last week he signs the House resolution, which is going to cut tens of thousands of people in the state of Tennessee out of TennCare. They can sugarcoat it all the hell they want to. Tennessee is the only state that has accepted Medicaid block grants. The only state in America that has gone with it. And our local representatives, Hazelwood, Smith, Esther Helton, all signed off on the bullshit. Cutting health care off. Everybody knows my story. 3 years ago, I was diagnosed with congestive heart failure. Not any worse, a little bit better. So, but did you know congestive heart failure does not qualify for TennCare in Tennessee? How many of you knew that? Congestive heart failure does not qualify for TennCare. Most cancers do not qualify for TennCare. And now more people are going to get knocked off the TennCare rolls because of the Medicaid block grant. But the Hamilton County Health Department better start stepping it up. Now, the number of cases appear to be going down. But when I was out and about this weekend, apparently the county nailing buds didn't affect them. Freaking place is still packed. That's how screwed up the Hamilton County Health Department is. And ultimately, this lies at the feet of County Mayor Jim Coppinger. This has been screwed up from the minute it started. At least he's kept the mask mandate. The only problem is half the freaking county doesn't give a shit. They don't give a shit. And it's time for Mayor Coppinger and Becky Barnes to step it up. Because Health and Human Services in Washington has already changed the guidelines on giving the vaccine. Problem is, state of Tennessee is not going along with those changes. People like my buddy, Rusty Parkhill, he lives in Georgia, but he's a transplant recipient. But if I'm reading Georgia's information correctly, he's not qualified yet. I'm not qualified yet. And today we passed a sobering number. Over 400,000 Americans have now died from COVID. That's sobering. That's very, very sobering. Almost 500,000 Americans have died. And Cindy's exactly right. Most people who have wanted to get the vaccine and qualify get fed up because they're having to sit in cars for hours and hours. And now this bullshit of having to set an appointment online. Open up the damned arena. Do something, for God's sake. First Tennessee Pavilion. Open it up. Not the damn River Park. And now you've got a second location, the Carta Bus Barn. Okay, you got a 75-year-old person in freaking Bakewell that needs the vaccination, and they've got to go on the other damn side of the river. You sniveling fools. Just as many people live on the north side of the river as they do on this side of the river. And you're making no accommodations for them. What about the people in Hickson, Soddy Daisy, Red Bank, Sail Creek, Bakewell, Harrison? If you can get through the Proud Boys up there. See? And Rhonda just threw in there, Catoosa County teachers are already getting theirs at their school. Is that a case where Walker County is dropping the ball? All the local health departments are screwed up and they're not getting the job done. We still have people dying. We still have people in the hospital in ICU. And it's time to get these health departments off their ass. Raise hell. Call the mayor's office. And why the local news stations continue to just make their stories about some damn press release, why they don't get in there and dig and find out what's really going on, I don't know. I guess those days of digging into a story are over. But then again, even the Times Free Press is not doing it. Somebody's got to ask the question, why has this been so screwed up from day one? Somebody's got to ask that question. Tiger Creek Elementary? Holy shit, that brings back memories. When I got out of the military and was back home, working my way through college, going to class at night, I worked commercial heating and air installation. And I spent a few months when they were building Tiger Creek Elementary School, like anybody really gives a shit about that. But, you know, write the county mayor, call the county mayor's office, because Mayor Andy Burke has nothing to do with this. It is the Hamilton County Health Department, okay? Thursday night, we do have an election coming up in a couple of months in the city of Chattanooga. And I think it's pretty obvious who I will give my endorsement Thursday night. I think anybody that knows me will be able to guess who I'm going to endorse for the mayor of Chattanooga. I think anybody will be able to figure that one out pretty quick, but I'll do that Thursday night. And we'll see, we'll come back Thursday night and see, check the continuing shit show that is Tennessee football. Thursday, we will have a new president for 24 hours. And I will say this. I am not a fan of the man by any stretch of the imagination. But my friends that do support him, I still love them. Some of them I still have the hots for. But shame on CNN today. Shame on them for not showing his farewell address. I watched it on Fox. And of course, you expected him to tout what he had done. But although he did not mention President-elect Biden by name, he did wish him luck. Personally, I wish he would not blow out of town in the morning. Honor the tradition. Welcome the incoming president to the White House tomorrow morning. Do like W did. But they... As soon as it was, you guys are going to have to excuse me, I've had a tickle all day. And it's a throat, it's not down here. Credit to Fox News, as soon as the White House released the video, they played it. And as of 6 o'clock, CNN's not shown it yet. And it was as presidential as I have seen him, especially in the last week. You know I love you, Cindy. That's as presidential as I have seen him in the last week. He has come to the realization that he did not win the election, and he wished luck upon the new administration. We all just got to hold our breath now. It is a chilling sight to see how many of our brave men and women in the military are in the Capitol right now because of the several hundred that did what they did last week. And they're bringing those people to justice. Some of them from right here in Tennessee. So let's get through the next few days calmly. I know they've started a nationwide boycott now of Kohl's and Bed Bath & Beyond because they've pulled My Pillow off the shelves. If they had seen what this guy said, I'd have pulled them off the shelves too. This guy's calling for a freaking civil war. That crap's got to calm down. That crap's got to calm down. Okay? Tomorrow's going to be a tough day for a lot of people. I will be watching. Not you guys. I mean, I'm not a spy. Let's just hope that what is being rumored for my friends in one certain industry, let's hope that what's being rumored does not happen because you will have thousands of people put out of work. And one of the first proposals that's going to go before Congress from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is a national moratorium on automobile repossessions. If that happens, thousands of companies will go out of business. Because the fact of the matter is this: at any given time, 95% of the people who have car loans pay them on time. Legitimate car loans. Legitimate car loans. Through a bank, credit union, financial company. I'm not talking buy here, pay here. I'm not talking where you have to go in every week and make a damn payment to somebody sitting behind the desk at Joe's Used Cars. Like, there's a car lot on Lafayette Road, which is involved in the lawsuit against the city of Chattanooga by the woman whose teenage daughter was pulled out of a car by the Chattanooga Police Department, who were assisting in the repossession of a vehicle, which is a violation of federal That's a violation of federal law for the police to get involved. And this car lot down on Lafayette Road, right before you get to the big Circle K, right before Cloud Springs Road, it's on the, if you're going toward Fort O, it's on the right. That's not legitimate car financing. Bank, credit union, Santander Consumer Finance, American Credit Acceptance, Nissan, Toyota Motor Credit, Honda Financial, stuff like that. That's legitimate. And no more than 5% of all of their loans are in a repossession category. So a national moratorium is going to hurt more people than it's going to help. So that's my soapbox for that. Folks, I realize I have run over the shit show in Knoxville. Damn, I've almost gone an hour. The shit show in Knoxville took up too much time, but we hope you enjoyed the visit from former Tennessee football coach Jeremy Pruitt. If you did miss it, the replay will be available in a matter of 10 minutes or less on my Facebook page, or you can go to my YouTube channel. I'm no longer banned in 4 countries. Somehow the ban in North Korea, Syria, Iran, and one other, that ban has been lifted. So I'm no longer banned in those countries. So thanks everybody for tuning in tonight. Sorry I ran a little bit long. We will be back here, good Lord willing, Thursday night at 7 o'clock. And we'll take a look at the shit show that is University of Tennessee football. Rusty just chimed in. See, there you go. This, oh my God, this is so screwed up, the COVID vaccines. So we may have to hit that again. Don't forget, write to County Mayor Jim Coppinger, write who is ever in charge of your county, Catoosa, Walker, Dade, Bradley, who's ever in charge, write them a letter and tell them we want the damn vaccine. We will see you Thursday night at 7 o'clock. Thanks everybody for tuning in. And as always, especially over the next few days, please be kind to each other. now more than ever. We will see you Thursday at 7. Good night.
Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Without a doubt, gonna be one burnt down. Think it's running out empty for far too long. Cause I'm getting so low. Nothing can you give me makes me feel so bad. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.
That's all, folks.